Eli, when we talked to Coach Narduzzi on Monday, he said on Sunday's practice you guys had 10 explosive plays, no turnovers. What worked well that day, and did you carry it over these past 2 days?
Absolutely. Obviously, defense is going to make adjustments, so they're going to take away those explosives. But we've been doing a great job of finding different ways to make those explosives. They're trying their best to force turnovers. That's what our defense does, but we're doing a really good job in the QB room. In ball carries of taking care of the ball. It's a big critical to winning point that Deuce talks about a lot, so we make that a big emphasis on the offensive side of the ball. Don't want to say exactly what we're doing because we might get it out there. People might figure out what we're doing to create explosives, but guys are just in the right spot. QBs are making the right decision. O-line's doing their job. Really just boils down to everybody's doing their job, doing it the right way, and that's why we're able to be successful.
Coach said that Zion Fowler-El had 3 of those explosive plays. What have you been seeing from him, not just on that day, but in camp in general?
I've seen a huge growth and maturity in Zion. He's a guy that has a lot of talent. He can jump up, catch any ball he wants to. He's fast. He can stop on a dime, make a cut, run any route he needs to. Now he has that motor, that want to, I feel like, because he understands that he's got the things he has to do to get on the field, and he has an opportunity to get on the field this year, and he realizes that. So right now he's going full speed every rep, which is huge. He might not be doing the right thing every time, but that's what practice is for. That's what camp's for. Make sure he's getting the coaching that he needs to. But he's gone out there running full speed, doing exactly what we ask of him when he needs to, and he's just in the right spot, which is a huge part.
What have been your impressions of that room overall with the receivers? It seems like there's a large number of guys capable of bringing down balls and making those explosive plays for you.
Absolutely. This year we got depth at that position, and we got a lot of guys that once the ball's in their hand, they can make a lot of explosive plays. We got explosive receivers, I guess you could say. Blue is a guy that's going to get open. He's fast, loves to jump up, make a play, but he'll do anything for his team. He's making blocks on screens, run plays that are, turning screens and runs that could be 2 to 3 yard gains into 20, 30 yard gains because of a block that he's making. Deuce is a guy that when he's in the right spot, he's, coming across the field fast, going down the field fast, just a big guy. He looks like a horse, running down the field, just being able to get a guy like that the ball. Kenny's doing what Kenny does. He's a great receiver that you need in the backside, a single receiver, gets open, blocks, big body receiver, doesn't drop the ball, does exactly what you ask of him. Pop's a guy that gets open, great route runner. Might not be the biggest guy, but he's always open, as he likes to say. Just having guys that complement each other. We don't have a lot of guys that are exactly the same, but we got a bunch of guys that do different things, at a high level, and we're able to. Coach Bell's able to scheme that up with different guys, certain guys being in there running certain routes, and we're able to go out there and execute against a really, really good defense that we have.
Everyone knows about Desmond Reed at running back, but who else kind of sticks out in that room, and who do you think can help you guys this year?
Joel's Goff is going to have a great year for us this year. He was a true freshman last year, got to grow up a little bit in the offense, got his first taste of college football, and realized exactly what he needs to do to stay on the field, get on the field a little bit more. I like to joke with him a lot more. He's kind of yoked up a little bit. He looks strong. He looks big. He's a guy that's going to help us out. Honestly, all the running backs that we got right now, when they're healthy and when they're out there, they can do the right things for this offense. We got a lot of running backs that are predicated towards this offense. We got some big running backs, Caleb Williams, Juice. He's going to help us out a lot. Just being a bigger running back. When Boosie's healthy, he's a explosive running back. He's going to make a big play, make a cut, and get out there when we need to. Justin Cook came in. He actually came in as a receiver, walked on as a receiver for us. But we were low on running backs during spring, and now we've Coach Bell and all the offense coaches kind of molded him into a running back, and he's looking really good back there, making a bunch of cuts, making a bunch of plays, so it's a lot of fun to watch.
What have been your early impressions about this new O-line? We see Keith, Kendall, and Jeff all kind of fighting for those last 2 spots.
I'm staying up a lot more. Coach Dews isn't calling the blowing the whistle, saying sack every now and then. I'm staying up, staying clean. We're able to throw the ball down the field when we want to, but those guys, they're all fighting for that spot right now. Everybody's, really, motivated and realize that, there's only 2 spots out there. They're doing exactly what they need to get on the field. I expect, all those guys to play, honestly. I feel like all those guys are going to get on the field, and we're not going to miss a beat with whoever's out there on the field. I'm clean, protected, and those guys are fighting for me, fighting for this offense, fighting for that O-line.
Does it allow you to feel a little bit more confident knowing that the depth goes beyond just the first five?
Absolutely. I mean, you feel confident at any position when there's depth. When we got depth at every position on the field, on defense, offense, and everything like that. And I think that's what separates this team from last year's team is we got guys that can sub in, sub out, be able to play for us whenever we call on them.
Coach Narduzzi told us about everyone's going to know, but I don't know if slogan is the right word for it, but something that the leadership council decided on, kind of as maybe an unofficial motto or something for you guys in 2025. Just what can you tell us about that, where that comes from, and just what that's rooted in, that phrase?
Everybody's going to know that Pitt's here to stay. Pitt's here to be a great program that they have been in the past. 3-9 year was a fluke. Going 7-0, that's everybody know. We want everybody to know that's what we do. That's the standard here. Some things happen where ended up the season 0-6, but that's the standard now. Everybody's going to know that Pitt's going to be a powerhouse in the ACC. Fighting for an ACC championship. Fighting for a college football playoff spot. Everybody's going to know that Pitt's putting guys in the NFL. NFL Hall of Famers now. I saw a list came out that I think Pitt's tied for like 3rd or 4th for most Hall of Famers, and we still have to put Larry Fitzgerald, Aaron Donald, and Shady McCoy probably in there. I mean, at some point we're going to be number 1. Everybody's going to know that Pitt is one of the perennial powerhouses in college football, and that's the motto this year. Everybody's going to know that we're here to play, we're here to dominate, and we're here to win.
You said you're staying upright a little bit more, but who on that defensive line that's maybe kind of catching your eye and making some plays?
Jimmy Scott's making a lot of plays. Just carrying over from what he did last year. Sean Fitzsimmons and Nick James, big guys in the middle. Honestly, everybody's doing a great job. Francis, Ghost, Breb Man, Jasir Whittington, he's doing a really good job. And the guys that came in, J-Mo, Blaine, Joey, everybody's, coming in. I mean, it's as an offense and as an O-line, I'm sure it sucks when there's 4 guys in there, and we sub and 4 new guys come in. They don't miss a beat. We have that depth at D-line where everybody's going to be able to come in and play and just dominate, fresh and just being able to roll.
What have you seen in Braylon Lovelace's confidence on that Mike position when you're facing off against him?
He's got a lot of confidence. Braylon's my guy. We've kind of grown a relationship over these past 2 years, hanging out a lot off the field. But yeah, I love Braylon at that Mike position. He adds a different element of athleticism and just being able to cut and cover guys out of the backfield and everything like that. But he's also come to lay the hat. He's not shy of contact. He wants to make the big play, do the right thing, and he's going to make a lot of explosive plays like we saw against Syracuse. I mean, that's not just a one-time thing. Braylon's going to do that, game in and game out. And we got other linebackers that are going to do the same thing with Kyle, Heem, Jeremiah Marshland's going to do the same thing. Jaden Bonsu, I expect great things out of him. Again, we're deep everywhere, and that's a big difference from where we were last year.
How cool was it I think you were up at Montfort U.S. Open week. How cool was it seeing that?
It was awesome. That was my first time ever, going to a golf outing, golf tournament, anything like that. I finally started golfing about 2 months ago. It was my first time I ever played. Kind of getting into the swing of that, working on it. Kind of sucks right now. We can't really play, but the QB room we went in and you ever heard of bucket golf? It's like a little, you can find it on Amazon. You basically play with like wiffle ball, like a pickleball thing or whatever. You got like a little chipping thing. There's a expandable bucket. You make it in, it's minus a stroke. You hit it, it counts as a stroke. So we're every off day or day we get time, we're out there making a golf course, par 3, par 5, par 4, just having fun, doing something like that. I mean, I shot a 6 under yesterday and I still lost, which is incredible. But, it's something to do, something fun, something to get my mind off of football. But yeah, Oakmont was a great opportunity. It was the first time I've ever been sunburnt and soaked at the same time, which was kind of annoying. But wish I got to stay for that last putt. But it started storming. We didn't know how long the rain delay was going to be, so we went ahead and got out of there and watched it on TV. But I really enjoyed it.
Who won? Like you said, he shot 6 under and lost.
Out of the QBs, I want to say Bo Jackson won. Out of that, we've had 3 different winners. I think Cole won the first day, David won the second one, and I think Bo won this past one.
You had a pretty good spring and you got a lot of attention there. How do you think you kind of carried it over from the spring to this camp?
Oh, well, I think as far as, last season, just, getting everything as far as mentally, getting a lot of mental reps and stuff like that. The translation has been a lot easier, I would say. So, yeah.
When you came in, I think everyone knows, you got to live on an island if you're going to play corner at Pitt. What's it like actually living that and kind of being in the system, playing it, as opposed to learning about it and being a freshman, not having experience in it just yet?
Well, it's been fun so far. Playing out there on the island as DB, you got to have a dog mentality always, I would say. And so far, it's been fun. I've been out there making plays, moving fast, playing good. So, yeah, it's been good.
Are there any receivers that you've in particular had some fun battles with, and anyone in that group sticking out to you at this point?
Sure. Kenny Johnson, I would say, he's number one right there. So anytime we go up and battle, it's the dogfight for sure, yeah.
What was the excitement about getting to wear pads today?
Excitement, putting somebody on their neck. I would say just, playing hard, physical. That's what our coaches teach, day in and day out. Got to attack the ball, at all times. So, just playing fast and physical, for sure, yeah.
What was your off-season, your summer, I guess, like, after having a good spring, what kind of stuff you want to do to prepare yourself for a moment where there's an opportunity for you to start?
That's a good question. I would say having my first OTAs, going through OTAs and just trying different techniques out there and seeing what works, I would say. Definitely going out in OTAs and, going after practice and doing those certain things to help me amplify my game a lot more. Yeah. So.
What have you been doing this training camp to kind of set yourself apart from the other corners?
Just getting extra work whenever I can. With whatever it is. It could be after workouts. I might, go get an extra little workout in, or after film, go back to the drawing board, get on the board, see different things that I can do to make my game better, I would say, for sure, yeah.
How deep do you think your room is? How deep do you think your room is? How corners look?
We're looking good right now. It's a lot of stuff that we can fix, early in camp, but we playing fast, we playing physical, we attacking the ball, we making receivers work, for sure. Yeah, we looking good, we deep.
I was curious, just, Pitt had another guy from Lakeland, Damari Mathis, come up through the school, play in the NFL. I was just curious if you had any relationship with him, if you were able to, work out with him, stuff like that.
Definitely not working out, but definitely whenever I need, a talk, or whenever I need a question, he's there to pick up the phone and give me all the knowledge I need, for sure. He's definitely a tool I use in my back pocket, for sure. Yeah.
Would you say that's just kind of common of the whole secondary room? It kind of seems like there's just been a lot of linkage just with Coach Collins, Coach Sanders, a lot of guys that go to the NFL. Does it just kind of feel like this is what we do? We're the Pitt secondary. There's a lot of guys that go through here and play in the NFL.
I would definitely say so. I feel like it's definitely a standard, as far as, Pitt, the secondary here at Pitt, as far as, it's a lot of names that come out of the organization. So definitely, the standard is high, I would say, for sure, yeah.
Zion, on Monday morning, we asked, Coach Narduzzi who was making plays, and you were the first name he brought up. So what'd you do on Sunday?
I just showed out and took advantage of the opportunities that I was given. Throughout the years, I've been limited to a couple opportunities, obviously due to a couple guys in front of me like Kanante and stuff like that. But now that those guys are gone, I'm able to really showcase my skills and my abilities.
What were some of those plays that you made? Was it just deep catches, juking people out?
It was all around. I was trying to just, make a name for myself. It's training camp, and this is where legends are born. So I was just trying to do the best I can, whether it's juking, catching the ball, juking, getting upfield, whether it's making a big catch, whatever I could do just to put my name out there.
Zion, what do you have to do to put your name out there to create some separation and just make a name for yourself?
Start by just doing the little things right. Really just making sure that doing the details right, whether it's my alignment, my assignment, whether it's blocking, whether it's just going up, catching the ball, tucking it, just trying to be sharp at the little things, because the little things is really important, and that's the things that come and just bite us, you know.
Eli was telling us that something about the receivers room, there's not a lot of guys that are the same. Everyone kind of has different skill sets and abilities. So where do you feel like you fall into that? Like, what do you feel like your main strengths are? What makes you different or special as a receiver?
I'll say what makes me different really is I'll try to say my attitude. You know, I try to think that every time the ball's in the air, I don't try to think of knowing any 50-50 balls. I try to think the ball's mine every time. So I just try to have that attitude that nothing's going to stop me, whether it's I'm getting held, whether it's a bad ball, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm going to just go up. If the ball's thrown to me, I'm going to go up and go get it. So I just try to get that Jersey strong mentality and, you know, just keep it fighting.
That receiver room in general is pretty deep.
Yeah.
What does that do for the competition level with you guys competing for, so few spots?
Well, first of all, we really just a brotherhood. So at the end of the day, even though we still competing, we still want to see each other shine. Still want to see each other just improve on the little things every day. So it's great just competing with those guys. I love those guys, man. So even though it's training camp and we might be in competition, those are still my brothers, so we still get on each other every day. So I don't really kind of look at it as a competition. I just look at it as really like a brotherhood, because, I kind of look at like goals like Pop and guys that kind of been in this offense. I kind of look at those guys to really set the example for stuff like that. And certain times I'm going to have to set the example. So it's kind of like a brotherhood, that little brother, big brother relationship, We just go back and forth.
You mentioned that Jersey Strong connection. What's it been like to just see Kyle Lewis just blow up as a college football player?
It's been great, man. That's family right there. That's like my cousin. So just seeing him, just evolve into the player he am and to the player he is, and just put on for Jersey, it's amazing, really. So just being able to see him just go out there and make plays, it just make me proud, and I know he's making the whole state of Jersey proud.
Who are some of those defenders that you've been going up against that have really stood out to you?
Jaden Bonsu, Blackjack, that's what we call him. Jaden just transferred in from Ohio State. He's going to be a great addition to the defense. I'll name some guys because I've been doing pretty good. So I wouldn't say nobody stayed out, but I'll name some guys on the defense I've been doing pretty good. Breadman, Josh Guerrier, Ghost, obviously Heem and Kyle. Just there's guys of that nature, those guys is dogs, and they hungry. They want a position, and they hungry, and they're trying to strive for more. So I respect those guys every day, and I just love to compete with them.
Yep. I think probably you're the only person on this team that was on SportsCenter #1 play.
Yeah.
So if you had to pick 4 guys that would be in a dunk contest on the Pitt football team, who would be your 4?
Dunk contest?
Obviously,
yeah. No, I'm winning, so I wouldn't even. This would be a contest amongst my teammates. But I'll definitely say. I ain't never seen Deuce play basketball, but Deuce pretty tall, so and he athletic, so I'll assume he could do some crazy dunks, East Bay, between the legs, stuff like that. So I'll definitely say Deuce. I'll put him up there. Braylon, he's sneaky athletic. He a little, he's a little big, but he's sneaky athletic. I'll put Braylon up there. For the 4th one, I'm trying to think of people I could think that could dunk. I don't really know too many people that could dunk on the team. I don't know. That 4th one's anonymous. I don't know. But those definitely my top 3.
Who are you giving the crown to of the 3? If you had to guess, who would be the best?
Probably my boy Heem. Heem gonna end up doing some crazy stuff. He got crazy bounce, just like me. But they all can't beat me.
Anything final?
Josh, we always don't get to see a whole lot of practice, but we got to see that first little live period. I saw you kind of were out there with the first team defense.
Sure.
What do you think you've been doing to kind of catch the coach's attention to kind of even get those type of reps?
Me personally, I think me running to the ball, ball hawking. I'm a ball hawk. See ball, get ball. That's one thing. Another thing, probably just paying attention to details. I'm very attention to details, but that's about it.
Where do you think you've grown the most since coming onto campus on January to now?
I think my biggest strength is probably knowing the plays now, knowing each check,
communicating. So
What's the competition like just among the safeties? I think you guys probably have like 5 or 6 guys that could probably go out there
sure.
and play.
We got Cruz Brookins, Javon McIntyre, AB, Allen Bryant. We got me, got Jesse. It's a good amount of safeties. That's good. That could play around either on the boundary or field. So.
What are you seeing from the receivers in camp so far? What kind of challenge do those guys present you?
Oh yeah, they giving us a good challenge. And competition is a good thing, especially with a Power 5 team. Good receivers like I'll say Cam Sapp, he fast. Zion, he's a quick guy. Deuce, K2, Kenny Johnson. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
How have some of the older guys on the defense really helped you kind of get used to your first training camp?
Well, yeah, they've been taking me in like a jit. So, but I know Javon, he helping me. Cruz helping me, definitely. Jesse's helping me. A little bit of KB, Kavir, he's helping me. But yeah, they've been helping me since spring.
I guess, what's it like working with Coach Sanders? Because this, like the safety position at Pitt in general, they posted a lot of guys to the NFL and stuff like that. So how's it just kind of like that whole operation of just working under Coach Sanders?
Right now for me it's different. It's probably different for me because I knew Coach Sanders since my sophomore year of high school. So for me, he probably like an uncle to me. Like Coach Sanders, me and Coach Sanders really cool, really close. But yeah, he's a cool guy. He gonna make sure you good. He not gonna yell at you. He gonna make sure you in the right position, state of mind.
Was Pitt the first school to like start recruiting you?
It was Pitt, USF, Tennessee, but yeah, Pitt was there.
So I guess just over the years, what you said he's like an uncle to you. I mean, just you kind of like, even though this is your first year playing for him, you just kind of understand what he's already saying.
Yeah, already, because just the relationship is just there, But yeah, I definitely understand what he's saying.